I've come across in my career with several clients who are experiencing high levels of stress, the inability to concentrate. And when we look back, what we found is that when they were children, they were not allowed to rest. They were always expected to be doing something productive, something valuable, something meaningful. I have two clients on top of mind right now who were constantly asked to do a little bit more. You can rest later, but do that first. Coming home from school, doing a set of homework and music and sport constantly, day in, day out. And the idea of rest, the idea of recharge was tinted with embarrassment, with shame, with weakness. So this early childhood conditioning creates then in the version of adult the same exact relation to resting as something embarrassing. And you will come across people that would say things like, oh, I'm so embarrassed, I haven't done anything today, I'm still in my pajama, or I'm wasting my day, with the perception that giving themselves a break, giving themselves a rest is not something that is allowed to them, that is a positive thing. There is shame, there is guilt, there is embarrassment. So this constant perception of having to do and being a human doing, not a human being, with the inability to stop, to reflect, to reset, to nurture, to recharge. Are you one of those people who was made do, constantly do, and the doing becomes the validation, and validation comes from doing and not being, and this familiar habit from childhood becomes a new reality for these adults then that come to a point in their life in which they are completely breaking down, incredibly stressed, disconnected also from themselves, and unable to stop, and unable to allow themselves to be and to discover and to stay curious with a lot of compassion. We are human beings after all, and being requires standing still at times and listening for clues and exploring, not constantly being engaged in the doing, in the act of doing. That creates inevitable disconnection with the self, with the truth. That's why then these people come to an age of maturity in which they don't even know who they are, and they don't even know whose life they've been living, because they become accustomed and familiar with the seeking validation from their actions and not from their essence. So if you are one of those people and you hear the shame, critical voice coming up when you're stopping and when you're staying still, just tell yourself it's okay to be still. It's okay to reflect. I have the right to pausing. I have the right to discover. I have the right to observe. It's part of human nature. So reframe and shut down that negative, critical, familiar voice, the shaming voice, into a supportive, empowering, compassionate adult voice. I hope this helped.